I'm sorry. Which difficulty level did you say it was, Tal?
It would be standard too.
Standard. Okay.
But success.
Okay. Hang on, I gotta reroll. I don't think I did it right. Yeah. How do I? Oh, okay, here.
I guess I need to roll. I thought I rolled. So how do you roll? Because I'm pressing the little one and it's not rolling.
You should just be able to click it and it should roll for you. If you can't get it to click, you just roll a 1d20. Everything's done through a d20.
Yep.
17, awesome, that's a success. So everyone except Shiro doesn't see this either. So Skylar, Tuck, and Nearest, all of you kind of notice these figures kind of jumping from tree to tree above you. They're very quiet. You can tell they definitely, you know, they're most likely people that live here, and they're jumping from tree to tree above you.
So can we tell that they're like humanoid? Is it what the?
Yeah, they look humanoid. They're green, so they kind of blend in. They look pretty shorter than the average person would look.
Nearest will point at them and go, "What are those?" Because he has no clue.
Check your Pokemon cards.
Yeah, check your Pokemon cards.
Not a bad idea.
And as you guys are kind of, as soon as you point to them, they kind of figure out that you're onto them, and they all kind of just fall on the ground around you. And there's about 8 of these creatures that now surround you at this point, and their hair is actually made out of leaves, and leaves are actually growing out of them. This isn't something they've, like, you know, taped on them. Leaves are actually growing out of their bodies, and like I said, they're green. They're a bit short, and they wield their nails are pretty sharp as well, and they're kind of just sitting there in kind of a battle position. So we're gonna go ahead and roll for initiative. I'm gonna go ahead and say these characters are level 3 NPCs. So there's 7 level 3 characters around you.
So is there any like opportunity to be able to try to talk to them? Anything like that, or?
Yeah, sure. You can try to talk to them.
Okay. So I kind of look at the one I guess nearest to me, and of course, being the tongue-tied.
This is going to be good.
Say something along the lines of nice shrubbery.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for an intellect skill. And let's say this is going to be for you, it's an intimidating task. Because you're talking to these creatures, they've stepped out, they're all around you at this point. So that would be a level 6.
Okay. So I just hit the 6, right, on the die.
There you go.
Okay.
And that was actually really close. So the way you determine the successes is that you take the difficulty level and you multiply it by 3. So if you would have gotten an 18, you would have been able to talk to them. So you actually got pretty close. But
so how? Sorry, how does the intellect thing go into this? So you said it's like an intellect kind of thing. I know I don't have very much intellect at all. But if this had been, you know, something else, how would that actually apply to?
Oh, well, it just depends on the action. So you're trying to talk to them. That's a skill that uses your mind. So that's how we determine it uses intellect. If you're running away from them, that's a skill that uses speed. We would that would be a speed skill. But basically, I guess what you're asking is, how is intellect used there?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that this would be like where if I wanted to provide.
If you wanted to provide effort.
To do effort, yeah.
Then you would pay your effort, and so that would go down.
Okay. Thanks.
Awesome. And all right. So you try to talk to them, and they just look at you, and all you hear is. So you can't really hear, and they seem to be kind of responding to each other, or whatever. You know, you don't know if they're talking to each other, if there's something in their throat or something like that.
So they don't like say knee or anything like that.
There's no knee
goodness.
or anything like that.
I knew it said shrubbery that was gonna come up. I knew it.
Okay,
Yes.
so I said there's 8 guys around you. They're going to be level 3. So let's go ahead and roll for initiative. You're basically going to be rolling your speed checks. So you roll a d20. The goal is 9 in this case. So above a 9, you go before them. Below a 9, you go after them.
Does quick affect that?
Yeah, sure. That would. So you would roll a difficulty of 2 for quick.
2.
Oh, and you have,
First critical failure.
you're critically failed. Let me
Congrats.
let me tell you about special rolls. A 1 is obviously a critical failure. You suffer +2 damage or a free GM intrusion. If you get a 17, you get +1 damage. If you get an 18, you get +2 damage. 19 is +3. 20 is +4. Plus some minor effects and stuff like that. If you also roll a 20 and you would have used pool for effort or something like that, that would be no pool cost. You would have been able to provide that effort for free on a 20. So at the who is it? It was Shiro.
Shiro.
Okay, so as soon as these guys kind of jump down, Shiro just kind of screams and falls on the floor, and he falls face first and has ended up with a mouth full of sand at this point.
Oh,
So you're
so
definitely
dead.
you're definitely
I
gonna
really wanted to use the Inferno Wall.
No, right? That's my plan.
You're definitely going to go after them, and you've pretty much lost your first turn, as you're gonna have to get up. So good job. Welcome to tabletop RPGs. Okay, so
I'd like to apply effort using one of my edge, right? So this
Okay.
would be speed. So
yeah, so you can bring that difficulty down by 1, and then you'd lower your speed pool by 2 then, because it costs 3 normally. The effort takes it off by 1, so you take a loss of 2 speed. You should just be able to click on the thing.
okay, and we're going with 6. Oh, come on.
Well, no. You're going with 2. So that's
I'm
a
going with
success.
2?
The
Okay.
target was 6. So since the difficulty level was 2, that's your target 6, because 2 times 3 is 6.
Okay.
So you actually get to go before everyone else. You'll go, and then I believe the enemies will go. Then Skylar, nearest, and Shiro with his face in the ground.
Shiro.
So let me write this. Tuck. Enemies.
Saul. She's just sitting there like, okay, I knew I should have made a second character.
I'm reading chat right now. Thank you.
And let me tell you how enemies and NPCs work. 6, 7, 8. There's these guys are level 3. So basically you have to roll a 9 to get a hit on them. You have to roll a 9 to defend against their attack. And this might be a little difficult. So we'll see what happens here. If y'all are taking a lot of damage, I'll move them down to 2. Basically, they have because the target number is 9. They have 9 hit points worth of damage, or they have 9 hit points, and they do 3 damage to you because they're level 3. Does that kind of make sense? Everything goes off the level and the target number. So they're level 3, they'll do 3 points of damage. That are level 3, they have 9 hit points because that's a target. All right, so that.
So Soul has the giggles.
I guess
Maybe we should
so.
just mute her mic.
I'm sorry. Okay.
All right, so
Now we're all gonna get in the giggles.
yeah, we're all gonna get in the gills. All right, Tuck has the first attack on these kind of dwellers, these tree dwellers of sorts.
Okay. Are any of them like far enough where I could use my? Or are they all like an immediate?
Yeah, that's another thing we should talk about is ranges. There's immediate. I think it's immediate, near, and far, or something like that. Basically, one is they're right next to you. One is they're kind of further away where you'd have to use a melee weapon or a ranged weapon. You wouldn't be able to hit them with a melee weapon. You'd have to take one turn to move. And one is they're far enough away to where a ranged weapon couldn't hit them, and it would take 2 turns to get there. And for the sake of this, let's say that all of them are, because they're all melee enemies. So let's say all of them are within, they're close.
And they surround us.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Nice. All right, Tuck, take it.
Yep, Tuck,
Kill
what
them all.
would you like to do?
No, Tuck, you can do it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. So you said that they're in crossbow range, and
They're within melee range.
within melee. They're within melee, so they're right up next to me.
Yeah,
All
they're right next to you.
So I mean, so when they start like doing whatever kind of talking that whatever that was that you were doing, you know, Tuck automatically he realizes that this isn't going to go well, so he just rears back and smacks one of them with his fist.
Okay, so you'll go ahead and roll your d20, and the goal is a 9 or higher. Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Well, you rear back and just punch the crap out of one of these guys.
Yeah.
And how much damage does your fist do? Because you said it's a medium weapon, right?
Yeah, so it does 4 damage.
4 damage. All right, so you hit the closest one to you, and it takes 4 damage, and just kind of some kind of green goo starts pouring out of its nose.
Nasty towel.
Great.
Some green goo since you punched it in its face, and it just kind of, as you hit it, it makes like a clack sound or something. And so now it's the enemy's turn. So the one that you hit obviously is going to retaliate on you. All of the guys have kind of are looking at you at the moment. So go ahead and roll. This is going to be a speed check. And let's go ahead and say that 3 of these guys are going to try to attack you.
Wow.
So
okay.
roll a D20, or hit the button for
If
three
all 3 of them are
times.
gonna do it, can I just apply effort to just once effort, or do I have to do effort 3 times for each one, or one for each?
I think you have to do effort for each one.
Ugh, crap.
Yeah.
That.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. You actually you might not be able to talk well, but you just ducked and dipped and dodged and all sorts of stuff around these guys. And they are...
Well, that's because he's shaking his hands, actually, because of all the green goo that's on there.
Oh, yeah, the green goo would definitely be on your hand. And, all right, awesome. These guys all completely miss you. 2 of these guys... one of these guys is looking at the dude on the floor, just kind of the guy eating sand. So he instantly runs up to you and does an attack. So since you're laying on the floor, this is actually going to move the difficulty up 1 for you. So you'll be rolling on 4, the difficult option there.
Okay.
Aw.
Gonna die.
Well, as you're laying there on the floor, you don't really see the guy coming up to, and he just slashes you and catches you on your back, and you're bleeding a little bit now. He does 3 points of damage to you out of your might pool.
Okay. Okay.
All right, and so there's a few people left. 2 of these guys look over in the direction of, let's say, nearest. So nearest, go ahead and roll a 2d20 for me. And that'll be a difficulty of 3, so a 15 and a 19. You easily just move out of their way as they kind of charge you and swing at you at the same time. And then the final 2 attack. Who have we not attacked? We've attacked.
We haven't
attacked Skylar. So these 2 are gonna go for Skylar, kind of surrounding you. One's in front of you, one's behind you at this point. And go ahead and roll. One of these is actually going to be a difficulty level of 3, and the one behind you is going to be a difficulty level of 4, because he's flanking you. Roll 2d20. One of them has to be a 9, and one of them has to be a 12. All right. Well, you were really concerned with the guy behind you, but you were so concerned with him, you easily dodge his kind of swipe at you. But the guy in front of you happens to grab you and does 3 points of damage to your might pool.
Soul has armor, right? So
Do you have armor?
I have 1 armor.
1 armor. All right, that would be 2 points of damage to your might pool.
Yay!
Do you have armor as well, Yuki?
Yeah, I have that.
All right, that'll be 2 points of damage to your might pool instead of 3.
Okay.
Thank you, Oster, man.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, so next up would be Skylar.
What am I doing?
We don't know.
Are there any in crossbow range from me? Or are they all like right close?
They're all pretty close, but I don't think there's
I thought you guys just leave.
I don't think there's any penalty. There's no penalty for shooting a crossbow in close range.
Alright, I want to shoot my crossbow at the guy that hit me.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So you will roll for a level 3 demanding, and a 9 or higher hits.
So just click the 3, right?
Yep.
The best rolls today.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can either suffer 2 damage, which would bypass your armor, or a free GM intrusion.
Which would bypass my armor? Or what would you do? Go ahead. Hit me,
do you want a GM intrusion?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as you're kind of pointing your crossbow at the guy, the crossbow string actually breaks and the arrow kind of flies off to the side. So the crossbow is now broken.
Great.
But you could probably repair it after combat.
Do I have?
Actually,
you do have a pair of tools, don't you?
You might.
I do have tools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in your backpack.
we have to do our flex skills because we're jacks.
Yeah, sure. We can do those right now. What skill did you want?
I want repair.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get repair.
Nice timing.
Which one did you want, Saul?
Great idea. Yeah, I'm with.
Well, you should if you both want the same skill, that's cool. But if you want 2 different skills, then that's fine. You can do like swimming, sneaking, jumping, whatever you want.
I already have jumping. Oh, I don't know. Thinking.
All right. I'll let you ruminate on that for a bit. So Skylar misses. Nearest, you're up.
I would like to use my cipher thing.
Yeah, sure. Which cipher do you have?
And make a circle of energy around us that encompasses and hits every single one of the enemy.
Which cipher is that?
The wall of energy.
The lightning one.
The lightning energy ball.
That
does 30 feet of lightning. So I'm going to
It should
circle
be
us
30 by
because that's
30 by
feet.
1.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you do that. That's fine.
And it should hit them all.
Yeah,
and
it
it's not
definitely
going to be
should.
like an intelligence thing, I hope.
Yes, if you want that to be an intelligence.
I would like to effort that.
Okay.
By 2.
You can only do it once because at your level there's only one
right.
level
I
of
have the
effort.
one thing, so I'll effort by 1.
Okay. And since you're not hitting them, what was the level on that cipher again?
Let me check quickly. All the way down. Lightning wall was level 6.
Level 6? Okay. I'm not sure because 6 is pretty high for you to roll that. Let's just say for now, I'll double check on that roll. If you get a 9 or higher, and since you lowered it a 6 or higher, we'll say that works for today.
Okay.
Just barely.
Bonus damage.
Yeah, that actually is a bonus damage. So we'll say the 6 is what you were supposed to hit. So you get a 19. That's plus 3 damage or a minor effect of your choice. A minor effect could be ignore armor, strike specific parts of their body, knock back, move past, or distract.
No, we're going to take the damage.
Take the damage for plus 3. How much damage did it say it would do to people that it hits? 6. All right, so 6. So it's 9. Oh man. Well, you've all of these guys just kind of get electrocuted, and as soon as the wall lasts 10 minutes, right?
Yes.
All right. After 10 minutes pass, the wall kind of dissipates, and the only thing you can see are kind of black piles of ash on the ground. So all of these guys have died. And
Hell yeah.
And you lose the cipher.
So
I had done that before my crossbow broke.
Tal, to use the effort that cost me theoretically 3 intelligence, since I have 1 edge, it's cost me 2 intelligence?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. So all those guys are now dead and disintegrated. What do y'all want to do?
I'd like to get up.
All right.
Move.
You
Good move.
successfully get up. Congratulations.
Yes.
All right.
Is there anything?
Gosh.
I want to search the area and see if there's anything that's left behind that gives us any idea as to what the heck those things were.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an intellect.
Okay. And since I have perception for searching, like a bonus or trained.
Yeah, you can. That would lower the difficulty. Since they're disintegrated, this would be a challenging skill. And if you move that down, it would be go down to difficult.
So what's difficult? Like
4.
A 4?
Well, it's a 4. It would be a 12 target.
Okay.
Because you multiply that by 3. Perfect. Well, you kind of search through the ashes and stuff, and you pull out. Let's say you pull out just some leaves that didn't disintegrate, and you notice like whenever you point a specific direction, whenever you point to the west, the leaves grow a little bit colder.
Okay, cool.
I would like to attempt to fix the string on my crossbow.
Okay. Go ahead and do you want to fix it, or do you want to have Shiro fix it because he has a repair skill?
Shiro, please fix my crossbow.
All right. Repairing the string on the crossbow is pretty easy work. So let's say that's a difficulty level of 2. With your repair skill, it would move it down to a difficulty level of 1. So as long as you roll a 3 or higher, you're good to go.
So you're screwed.
There you go.
There you go.
Awesome. So you successfully.
I got a 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh wait, I was supposed to roll. He was supposed to
I
roll.
was supposed to roll.
Yeah,
Oh,
you were.
sorry.
Shiro's supposed to roll. So awesome.
Hey.
You roll a 7 and successfully fix Soul's crossbow.
Thank you.
Something good happened.
So Tuck would like to wipe the green goo off of his hands.
All right. I imagine you just like kind of take some sand on the ground and try to wipe it
No,
off.
not the sand. That's glass, dude. I'm
It doesn't
not gonna
cut you, though.
Myself on the glass.
The
It
sand,
doesn't
the
cut
sand
us.
doesn't cut.
Oh, it doesn't cut.
Mhm.
Okay. Yep. Or
That
can I
was-
use like the leaves that are left over from the dead beings and just use their leaves to wipe my hands off?
Yeah, sure. If he wants to loan you some of those leaves.
No
then-
way, dude. Those things have power. But what I do is I do show everybody the leaves and like show off that they grow colder to the west, whichever that means.
So, Shiro, friends of yours?
Nope.
Exactly.
Grass, ice, nah. Not my friends.
And do you want to continue moving towards Ishlav, or do you want to do something else?
Well, do we want to go west?
Where are
Point
we?
west.
West would be towards Ishlav. I'm going to go ahead and retcon you and say that it grows colder to the south.
Oh, okay. Do we want to go south because the leaves point us south, or do you guys want to continue on to Ishlav?
Ishlav.
I think we should still go to Ishlav.
Yes,
Yeah, Ishlav it is.
Okay. Well, you guys take
need civilization.
Yeah, you guys take a few more days to get over to Ishlav. And let me pull up Ishlav's description here for you.
If it takes us days to travel, do our pools regen?
Yeah, we can say they regen since it took you a few days, so you'd be back up to full health.
Hey.
Woohoo.
So basically, when you get to Ishlav, you notice something peculiar. It's a pretty large city. There's quite a few people here, and when you're walking up to the city, there's a lot of traffic going in and out. The closer you get to Ishlav, the more people that start to kind of go on these trails and stuff like that. Over time, you ended up finding a trail made out of some type of steel that you're walking on now, that clings as you walk through. And when you get to Ishlav, you notice that the buildings are pretty old. Older buildings on the outside. And if you guys are walking through Ishlav, you notice that as you walk closer to the center of the city, the buildings are actually newer. It's almost an immediate change, that the buildings change to a lot newer of a design and newer material. And
do any of us know anything about the city? I don't imagine my character would, but does anybody know rumors or?
I've never been, but I'll remember when we come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are any of y'all like book smart or anything like that?
Maybe the guy with the 2 books.
Please, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
No, if no one's book smart, then
I'm clever, but I don't know squat.
If no,
I'm good with personal experiences, not so much books.
If none of y'all are book smart, then you really wouldn't know anything about the city. But you could potentially ask someone.
Guards or
Is there a tavern nearby?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a huge city. There's plenty of taverns, plenty of guards. Anywhere you want to go. There's also a priest clave here. If you want to go talk to the priest, perhaps that's directly at the center of the city.
I say let's go to a tavern and find out what this place is and see if there's anything useful and find if anybody knows about these leaves.
Maybe the priest would know.
Maybe, but they're priests.
We could go theoretically. If you found leaves that get colder.
Remember, they're not really priests in a religious sort of way. They're priests because people seem to think they can control Numenera, whereas they're more scientists. They deduce the technological aspects of the Numenera, and a lot of people interpret this as religion, and so these guys have become priests because people think, they're magic, holy, religious people.
Right. I'd still feel more comfortable going to the tavern first because they'll be closer. Anybody else?
Yeah, let's get the opinions of the lay people, and before we go and bother the priests, then we can kind of figure it out from there.
Well, if you want to look around, there's a tavern that you come up to. All that you see on the front is just a mug of ale on the front, kind of telling you that there's beer available here. And
sounds fantastic.
Hey!
when you walk in, it's pretty crowded. There's a person in the corner kind of banging on this instrument on the ground. It's making kind of like it looks kind of like what you would assume would be a piano, but instead of making piano noises, it's making kind of like a chimey noise of sorts, and he's just playing some music in the corner, and everyone's loud and having a good time, it seems like.
Sweet. I'd like to use my ability to assess, my trained ability to assess basically useful people is essentially what it says. It says assessing importance and function and power, quality, lies, danger. I want to use that to see if I can figure out if I can see somebody who gives off some kind of, that's a guy we'd want to talk to just for whatever reason.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of people in here. You can tell that the bartender is obviously someone that might be important to talk to. And there's a guy off in the corner that no one's really around at all. No one's bothering him. He's definitely keeping to himself. It strikes you as odd because the density is pretty thick throughout the entire bar, except for where this one guy is.
All right, I point him out to my companion and say, "Hey guys, what about him?"
Sure.
You can talk to the creepy guy in the corner.
I am game for
Yes,
talking to the
Mr.
guy in the
Clever,
corner.
you go talk to him and see what he says.
All right, well, I'm going to go talk to the creepy guy in the corner, and I want to bring Tuck with me for sure.
Okay.
I'll go to the bar.
Yeah, Tuck is kind of challenged. I mean, he wants to go to the bar and order a mug. And if you would like his opinion and feedback and help with talking to this guy, sure, I guess. But as long as he has a mug.
Well, we can swing by the bar and grab a mug and go and visit this guy.
Okay.
You're paying, though.
All right.
Okay.
Well, whenever you get to the bar, I assume all of you order drinks. There's not really a denomination split for Shin, so it costs pretty much for unlimited drinks. It's 1 Shin, unlimited drinks until you walk out. So
What?
We're never leaving.
Call out, right? Well, I just want to call out that, the fake crew, they got 4 pounds of marijuana last night. We got free beer.
That's true. That's true. So you can. I think the beer is better for y'all. It's definitely more legal. But I assume all of you kind of order beer. Is that true? Does anyone not order beer?
Yeah, order beer.
Okay. Well, when he kind of pours it from a pitcher behind him and puts the pitcher down in it, there's something in there that kind of refills it, and he hands it to you, and it's kind of this thick, bubbly purple liquid.
Not drinking that.
Do we have experience with this?
Yeah,
Thick, bubbly, purpley liquid before?
Yeah, you recognize it
common
as
drink.
a stronger type of alcohol that's
Hell
common.
yeah, drinking.
Then I'm drinking it.
Right. And as soon as you drink it, it's pretty peculiar because what feels like a thick substance pretty much goes down pretty easily. So it turns into a really thin substance, and it's really an odd sensation and fills your body kind of with warmth.
I drink mine slowly.
I drink more of it.
Okay. Awesome.
A line of shots.
If you want shots, he gives you shots too.
Yes. Just down like 7 shots of it.
Shots
Oh
of
my
beer. Okay.
All right, so you're down in 7 shots of this liquid.
Yes.
All right. Let's go ahead and roll for your intellect here.
We're all poisoned.
And this will be a level 4 difficulty.
For all of us, I only drink a little bit.
Just Yuki, the one downing 7 shots of this odd alcohol.
Oh my god, if you rolled another one, I
I'd
would
like to put effort into
die.
that.
So, yeah, what pool would this come out of, Tal?
This would have came out of his intellect pool.
Uh,
Because alcohol affects the brain mostly, and you'd have to, if you want to put effort, you would have to do it before. There's no going back on rolls and stuff like that, because once a roll happens, it happens.
No,
But you are now insanely drunk,
Yes.
and for the rest of the day, it's gonna take you sleeping about 10 hours to get this alcohol out of your system. And for the next day, everything is 1 difficulty harder until you can sleep for an
Does
hour.
that take any intelligence out?
It doesn't take any intelligence out,
Okay.
This is why I drank it slowly.
but all the stuff is now 1 step harder for you.
Lovely.
All right, and what do y'all want to do? Soul is clearly cracking up again at Yuki's misfortune.
Well,
his first RPG, and he falls on his face and gets.
It's okay. There'll be many more things to happen to this wonderful group.
Tuck and I are going to go visit our mysterious dude.
I'm gonna keep an eye on Yuki.
Okay.
I don't want him falling on his face again.
Okay, that's perfectly reasonable. Well, when you go over to this man, he's wearing kind of a dark gray suit and has a kind of a hood over his head, and he doesn't really look up at you. He's just kind of slowly every now and then drinking.
All right. Well, I just sit down across from him, and hopefully Tuck will stay nearby.
Yeah, I'm just standing right behind you.
Awesome. I liking this. And I say, I have some questions for you.
Okay. He kind of looks up just so you can see him barely. You can see kind of a scruffy looking beard on him, and he says, "What do you want?"
I show him the leaves, and then I make up a story on how we found them while we're traveling, like just on the road.
Okay.
And they do something weird, and they are cold, pointing to the south. And I just say, "Have you ever seen something like this before?"
Okay. First off, roll. Just because of your lying to him, go ahead and roll a level 3.
Okay. I am trained in deceit and trickery.
Then you would lower that to level 2.
There we go.
Okay. He kind of just looks at the thing, and he just says, "It just looks like you killed some of those forest dwellers."
And what are those forest dwellers?
He looks at you and says, "They just live in the forest. What do you care?"
I'm just curious. We gotta expand our knowledge and horizons, learn new things. Have you seen them before?
Everyone's seen them going through that desert forest over there. Listen, if you want to talk to me, you bring me something good. If you follow the cold, they'll take you somewhere where you can get something good.
What is something
if you survive? He's kind of just laughing in this stereotypical way.
Right. I look at him and go, "What's something good to you?"
He just kind of sits there, takes another drink of his drink, and he just says, "Just bring me back one of their ciphers."
All right. How are we going to find you? You going to be here?
No, I'm always here.
Fair enough.
He just takes another drink. When you ask for his name, he says, "If you survive, then I'll tell you."
All right, Mr. Mysterious Stranger. Get up and head back to the bar.
Okay.
So I'll tell Yuki and Soul. I got to start using their names. Skylar and Shiro.
Shiro.
Sheila.
Close enough. About the fact that if we follow the cold stuff, we're probably going to get into a lot of danger, but we might find some cool ciphers.
Might find?
Well, I mean, it's a mysterious stranger sitting at a corner table in a busy tavern who's like hiding his features. So, he might just be trying to kill us.
Totally trustworthy.
Could be a trap.
Well, we're not going to trust him, but at the same time, if he tries to ambush us, he probably has some cool stuff.
I don't know. Shiro is really drunk right now. So even if we do get ambushed, he's likely to fall again.
I'm just crying at the bar right now.
Well, we could throw
As
Shiro
I pat your
at him.
shoulder.
But we don't have to go now, right? I mean, it's just an option. But he says that these things are the things from the tree dwellers, and all the tree dwellers drop them. So this is a common thing around here.
What are they used for, though? Did he tell you?
No, I didn't ask. Oh, come on, it's a mysterious stranger. I'm not going to ask the mysterious stranger guy too many questions because he wants to be mysterious and blah 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 blah. You know the type. We've dealt with them before.
Well.
Yeah, they have to be, they have to remain, far away from us, aloof. So
Tuck just kind of says, I could change that.
Tuck, you could try, but I have a feeling that this guy is probably gonna, unless we get him by surprise, we could do that. But there's no value to it, right? We're not going to get anything from that.
Suit yourself.
So you guys want to check out the priests? We can bring our drunk boy with us.
Good idea.
It's like, are we on a time frame to get to Glavus, or it's whenever we can deliver the stuff?
That's a question, are we?
That's up to Tuck. Did he give you any type of time frame that you remember?
Tuck didn't say anything, but he will tell you now. I think something like, wasn't it like 30 days?
We already traveled for
No, y'all traveled for about 25.
33.
Yeah, y'all
33.
traveled for about 30 days. Yep.
We kind of hosed that one.
The guy didn't really give you a time frame.
Okay. By the way, so Tuck takes a look at the orb and wants to see if he can do something with it instead of taking it down to the king.
Yeah, sure. If you want to roll an intellect skill,
Not his best.
yeah, this is this orb is you all recognize kind of these orbs. They're messenger orbs that they're used to give messages to pretty much the nobility of these kingdoms. As far as you know, they're not really openable from anywhere that you can tell. But you can definitely try. It would be a very difficult task. It would be very formidable. So that'd be a level 7. Oh, you're muted, I think.
Oh, so he would recognize that it's a standard messaging orb.
Mm-hmm. Used for pretty much nobility only.
Okay, he doesn't really care then.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he told us to go south.
Well, only if we want to go get ourselves into danger, probably fight a whole bunch of stuff and, the rest of it, the usual.
Yeah.
Find some things. Or...
Give me a good cave to explore.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'm in with that. We can continue on, like, rest here, move on, deliver the thing, and then swing back around these things later.
On our way back.
Yeah, or wherever we go next, right?
Mm-hmm. Whatever y'all want to
Yeah,
do.
sounds good. Did we want to go see the priests first before we headed down, or did we just...
I'd want to see the priest.
Yeah,
Let's see what
okay.
they say.
Let's get a second opinion.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm sorry, give me 1 minute.
Okay. Are y'all taking Drunk Boy with you?
Yeah, we're gonna bring Drunk
Yeah,
Boy.
so I'm gonna like put my arm, underneath him and around him to kind of pull him along.
Okay. Well, you guys start making your way to the center of the city. And just like I said earlier, you were kind of in the older part of the city. And you start making your way in. And it's pretty much a direct line cut where the city goes from old to new. And you step into the newer part of the city and make your way to the center. There's a big spire kind of in the middle where the priest kind of... You guys recognize it because it's got the markings of the priest, the priesthood all around it. The priest of the Aeon. And I should get their name before I start calling them all sorts of different stuff. But y'all make your way there. And when you get in...
Can I vomit right outside the door?
If you want to vomit right outside the door, you are...
Tuck moves out of the way fast.
All right, so you vomit right outside the door?
Yes.
Have him do a roll check and see if he vomits on himself.
No,
Tuck's got
we'll
like a speed of 17, so he's gonna haul ass out of the way.
Tuck is you do vomit on yourself
Yes.
at the same time, since you
Lovely.
you haven't had the best of luck with this.
And the vomit's all like blue and gurgling and whatever he had for lunch and like chunks or whatever.
Mm-hmm. The organization are called the Aeon Priests. Okay, so I had it backwards. They're called the Aeon Priests, and the main leader is called the Amber Pope. So when you go in, you just hear it's this kind of big room. There's a big kind of like electrical orb with lightning sparks coming out of it and hitting this kind of clear surface. You can hear the zzz, and it's floating with iron, some type of metallic surface above it, kind of encircling it and going round and round. And there's just a lot of people in kind of white lab coats running around doing all sorts of weird experiments on whatever they can get their hands on. And no one really makes any notice of you guys.
Right. I'm just going to stop one and say, who can we talk to if we have some questions about things we found?
He stops for a second and says, "You found something interesting, huh? What'd you find?"
Well, it depends. Who do we talk to?
Oh, you can talk to me. I'll help you with whatever you need. And he has like an eager look on his face now.
What's your name, friend?
Oh, my name is Joseph.
Think
Well,
you want to
Joseph.
get your name, huh?
Joseph, we found these leaves, and been told that they come from the tree people as we were traveling here. Just wondering if you knew anything about where they lead to.
He looks at the leaf and he asks you, "Can I hold it?"
Yeah.
He grabs it and eagerly he just starts spinning in circles, just trying to figure some stuff out. And he's like, "Oh yes, this one's to the south. Oh, you found a treasure finder, my friend. These leaves, if you're lucky enough to get one, points you to some treasure." Or to some peril. I don't know. These things are so cool. We've sent a few of our priests out to find these things, and half of them come back. Some of them have some stuff. Oh, it's so cool. And he keeps spinning around in circles. And he's like, "Yes, this one's definitely to the south."
Can I get my leaf back?
He kind of ignores you, just spinning in circles.
Can I get my leaf back?
Tuck just reaches out and stops him in place.
Yeah, as you stop him, he kind of snaps back. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. Can I keep this? I mean, you got to go south. Can I just hang on to this?"
This might be useful. Well, you know what? I'll trade it to you. What do you got to trade?
Oh, that's good. Let me look here to see what he would have to trade with you. Let's have you roll a D100. Let's let your luck decide what he's going to have.
58.
58. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to read this, not out loud.
You read out loud.
You can totally read out loud. We're good with that.
Just tell the stream. Just tell the stream.
Yeah,
viewers.
so you can turn the thing on. Well, he looks at you and he holds up kind of a medallion of sorts, and he says, "This will let you stay wherever you want for 1 day."
Is this a cipher?
Well, yeah, it's a cipher.
Mm-hmm.
Take it.
He has 2 already, though.
Oh no, I used one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, you used one. That's right.
So I can go back to 3. All right. Well, here's the deal. If we go to try and find this treasure of yours, or of ours now, we're going to need the leaf to get there. So give me the leaf, and I'll take the medallion, and when we come back, I'll give you back the leaf.
He sits there and thinks about it. Let's go ahead and see if you're convincing about this. He seems pretty eager, so this will just be a standard kind of thing that you're trying to convince him to do. So that would be a difficulty level of 2.
Just checking to see if I have abilities. Nope. Okay.
You don't have like persuasion or anything like that you could use.
Lies and trickery.
No.
That's good.
Lies. Well, I do have lies and trickery, actually. So, would that be a trickery thing? I guess so.
Yeah, if you want it to be, if you can justify it, I'll take it.
Yeah, well, you're tricking him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, you're not. I don't know. Are you tricking him?
Well, yeah, I'm totally tricking him.
All right. Well, if you want to make enemies of this order or whatever, that's fine. If that happens, you succeed, and he sits there and thinks about it. He's like, yeah, y'all are gonna find something good. I can tell.
Yeah,
And
we totally will. Yeah.
And he hands over the medallion. He says, you come back and see me. I mean, I can't wait to analyze whatever you guys get.
It would be our pleasure, Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So medallion.
Yep.
Of...
And take this medallion.
Thanks.
And let's do another roll. Because you have to identify these ciphers as well. I mean, he knew how it works. You don't know how it works. Okay. So you go ahead and roll a 2 again. We'll make identifying ciphers pretty easy. The book says to make them a 1 or a 2. I'd like a little bit of failure in these ciphers sometimes, so I'll make it a 2.
I'm good with that because I also have that ability to assess function, which I would assume pertains to ciphers.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. So you would take that as a 1?
Thank goodness.
Well,
happily.
Yeah, you take a look at the cipher and you spend the next hour or so checking it out. And where did I put that? That would that cipher creates an aura of temperature and atmosphere that will sustain a human safely for 28 hours. The aura extends 1 foot around the user. It does not protect against sudden flashes or temperature changes, such as from a heat ray. A small number of these ciphers accommodate the preferred environment of a non-human or non-terrestrial creature. So go ahead and roll a d100. If you get a 1, then it's this special type. Anything else, it's not. 54. Okay, so it's just a regular. It just, I guess it takes whatever environment is around you at the time and puts it in there for a full day.
Okay, cool.
And what would you like to call that?
Medallion of. Let me think. This is actually kind of. What I would do is I would say it's a medallion of an aura of temperature for 1 day that is suitable for a user, which I think is a valuable and vital name. But I think some people might think that's not a good name.
Yeah, I don't think so. Whatever you decide to call it, in parentheses, just put personal environment field so I can find it, or we can find it later.
You know what? There's a name. Personal environment field. Thank you.
Well, if you we don't have to name them. I was just thinking right now.
Oh no, I like that. Yeah. Medallion of environment field.
There you go. All right. So he gives that to you, and as you're kind of analyzing it, he kind of gets bored watching you obviously rudimentarily analyze this thing, and walks away and starts doing whatever.
Awesome.
Tal, so before he starts walking away, I'd like to go and grab him and ask him. So, do you know where I can find some boosts and some treats?
Some boosts and some treats.
Boosts and treats. So those are actual special kinds of. I think they're ciphers actually. That as a person that has flesh, skin fused flesh, something.
Is that under your the men what was your thing again?
So it's something that I would need to help boost, like strength or might, right? For example, or treats would be things that would help me.
Where are you seeing that? What section would it be under?
I'm trying to remember where I read it.
Boosts and treats.
Yeah, it has to do with the. Don't worry about it. Keep going, and I'll figure it out. I'll find it later.
Okay.
So we're going south.
Well, we might. We can still deliver the thing, and I mean, I got my medallion. I don't care. Go south or
you
not.
tricked a guy.
Well, we're
Did
good.
we have more than 1 leaf, though? You could have given him the leaf.
Apparently, we're down to 1. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought we picked up more.
I thought so too, but yeah, we're good with 1.
So
we should probably rest for the night and continue on to wherever we want to go.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to go back to that tavern you were in, it would be 1 shin per night for 1 room.
I'd like to go to the outskirts, build my tent, and just fall asleep.
Okay.
would you be able to build it being drunk, or just all collapse?
I'd like to take Skylar to build it, and then stay with me inside the tent.
Okay. Skylar, do you want to go with them?
It can hold 2 people.
No funny business.
No.
All right, Skylar, you want to go with them? Skylar, yeah?
What?
No?
What am I doing?
Do you want to go with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll help him.
All right. What are the other 2 of you sleep in the inn, or
Yeah, may as well spend the last shin and do that.
do you want to share a room, or you want 2 separate rooms?
We could share a room. That's fine.
Okay.
I know what he is.
All right.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. All right. Good.
Okay. So whichever one of you wants to pay, you can deduct that shin.
Oh, awesome. Even better. I like this. I was going to pay. Yeah, he pays. Good.
Awesome. All right. So you 2 sleep outside, right outside the place. You find a little patch. It's pretty much like steel outside. The ground's made of. It's not really steel. It's some type of metal. But somehow
I'm gonna be very grumpy in the morning.
Yeah. Somehow you found like a patch of dirt or something that you can mash a stake into to keep that tent up. And you guys wake up the next morning. Nothing really exciting happened over the night.
So I'm done with that debuff, right?
Yeah, you've slept it off.
My back is killing me.
When you wake up, you have a weird sensation that you can tell you were drunk, but there's no like hangover or anything.
Okay.
I need to get me some of that alcohol for now. Tuck and I will go and collect Shiro and Skylar.
Okay.
Yes, I got the names right.
Well, y'all are meeting just right outside the city then.
I want to stop and see if anybody has a map of the southern area. I mean, I'm not very good with maps, but at least I would have a general idea of where we're going if we go down there.
That's a good idea.
Well, you can definitely find a map of the area. You go to like a general store or somewhere and ask if anyone's like made maps that happen to pass through or not. And you do find one for 1 shin.
Hey.
If you want to grab that.
Grabbing map.
All right. So you now have a map of the southern area of, let's call this the Ishlav region.
Okay. And I know I'm going to spell that wrong.
Ishlav.
Thank you. Okay. Of Ishlav? I thought I wanted something like, where are the leaves? See, I wanted to go somewhere just south of Ishlav, wherever the leaves were pointing. As I point to my monitor, like people can see.
Well, you have a map kind of the area of Ishlav.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys kind of have an overall map of the entire Steadfast area. You don't know how old it is. The borders could have changed at some point. There's not really instantaneous communication, but now you have 2 maps. You have a map of the Steadfast, and you have a map of the Ishlav region.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask. I asked Tuck, where do you want to go? Do you want to go check out this potential of getting like some cool treasure, or do you want to go deliver the orb?
I think Tuck. I mean, the Glaves are kind of known as warriors and everything. I think that they would actually be more respectful of actually completing what tasks they were given. So I think that he would say, let's go and deliver the orb, and then we can move on and find any treasure or whatever else we want to do.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's move on. The rest of you.
Are we getting paid for this trip?
You're not really getting paid. Tuck was conscripted. He was kind of forced into doing this. Okay.
Because Tuck is an upstanding citizen, and of course, he doesn't ask too many questions because he doesn't talk very much. So.
And speaks of himself in the third person.
Kind of nods. Okay. So is the whole group in agreement? Y'all wanna continue your way on towards Glavus?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you start making your way in that direction, and about halfway there, you spend a few days traveling. About halfway there, you're kind of in this rocky, kind of hilly area, traveling in this kind of thin road with big, huge mountain rocks on either side of you. Now the rocks are actually this kind of pure silver color of sorts. It looks really shiny. The light sometimes bounces off it in ways that gets in your eyes, and you have to kind of cover your eyes at times. And every now and then you see an opening that you could potentially go into. But if you want to make your way out to the other side, then you are more than welcome.
I bet you I know what Skylar wants to do. Every opening I can just imagine, like, oh, dark spot.
Cave. Want to see dark place.